Welcome back to What Are Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T92 HMC, the Tier 10 American SPG. This one is located on the south spawn of Halluf, and it's under the command of Oxagon of ANIML, and there's no soul collector in this game, and we don't know what the equipment is, but I'm sure Oxagon will share that with us. Game on! Where you do not see many tier 10 Artys with 3 marks. They're fairly rare at the moment, but I'm sure that there will be a lot more in the future. Oxagon's been in the game for quite some time, and he loves his Arty. Okay, he's ready to go. This is the 24 centimeter howitzer on the hull of a Pershing tank, and the first target he sees is a Leopard 1. Tier 10 game only. Lines it up. Rounds out. Oh my god, he's killed him with his first shot. Amazing. A one-shot wipeout on the Leopard. Now, he was a blind shot. When the shell went in, he worked out exactly where the guy was, fired the round in, and completely knocked him out. But I suspect that he had been hit by other players beforehand, because with the stun shells, he can only do 1100 alpha. And the Leopard, of course, does have more hit points than 1100. Even if he got a high roll, he probably wouldn't have been able to get in with one shot. But I suspect he was benefiting from the fact that his shell was not the first one to hit him. Cram on. Rounds out. Engine deck. Ooh. Well, it splashed him for 288 with the second round. Now, that Leopard going down will probably encourage our team to attack across the valley. You can already see that our Leopard has decided to go up the other side, and he's got the support of a Rheinmetall Panzerwagen and a K91, the medium tank, not the tank destroyer. The standard reload 46.98, he's got a reload of 35.38. And that shell lands very close to the Object 705A. Trying to sneak across that northwest corner. Looks like the enemy does have control of that area of the map, so it's a good decision for him to actually move as far as he has, right down to the south of the map, over the lip. He's shooting up over the ground.
I need help.
Rounds out. Blind shot. In fact, he does have help. He's got an Object 261, the other RT on our team. And they're both of them working on this corner. Of course, that does give the enemy an encouragement to try and take out both RTs in the same area. It's much easier to spot 2 tracers than it is 1. So do be aware, if you do get close to your teammate, try and use that side-by-side skill, which he's using at this moment. It does have the drawback of 2 tracers coming out at once, and then the enemy knows where you are. He's loaded. Decides to go for the Jägeru, the Jagdpanzer E100. Gets a direct hit for 201. He also picked up some assists there as well. 506 and then 508 immediately afterwards. So he's already picked up enough to get the communications expert working. That gives him 2.5 extra %, and his reload time has now gone down to 34.90. So he's lost about a second of his reload, and that's good. Rounds out. Direct hit on the E100. 496 from that one, and he got more stun assist. So it is working. It's really working. We've got 2 tanks in that area. I believe one of them's a Jägeru and the other one is an E100. And now the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen is just around the corner. And, well, the enemy has lost a huge number of tanks, but they still have a few there that can do damage. Now, looking over the other side of the map, we can see our Leopard 1 actually got badly damaged when it went up the other side of the map. Awful lot of DBV 152s in this game. It's still fresh and a lot of people are still playing it. Lining up the shot on the E900. Rounds out. Looks good. Lands short. But he does get the stun assist off that one. And that guy's decided to back off because it's just too hot around that area. And he gets wiped out by the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen who went round the outside. So, with 4 tanks ahead on the enemy, their attack failed because not only was Oxagon and the Object 261 battering the enemy tanks, I mean really battering them, sledgehammers to them, and the guys that were there, the E900 and the Jaegeru, managed to hold the enemy at bay, and they just took a complete battering. And yes, the attack has been thwarted. He's now trying to get this Object 705, lining up the shot, rounds out, long flight time, but he does land the shell right next door to the 705. That comes from really experience, a lot of experience. Takes ages to work out the exact distance you need to be ahead of the target to ensure that the shell lands on or next to the target. It's one of those things you have to pick up slowly by accumulating masses and masses of games. But eventually you get there, and we're about to give the Object 261 a nice reward. Yeah, well, we got the kill. But, and he's, the T92 went out of the game, but I suspect that the Object 261 just got the stun assist off that one as well. He probably took most of the hit points, though, off the enemy T92. These vehicles are fairly big, and so they are vulnerable. But of course, most of the time, these vehicles will be fighting from some distance back behind the front line. They only made 5 of these. They did make some T93 GMCs, or gun motor carriages, 2 of those, and they had the 8-inch instead of the big 24 centimeter. The thing, this vehicle is fairly slow as well. It's actually only 32 kilometers now, 32.2 in total. And that's mainly down to the weight. It is a heavy weight for a medium tank to carry. 61 tons in total on a medium tank. Now that's the sort of load you would actually carry with a heavy tank. But of course, this is a medium tank. So yes, it was a bit slow, but it got there in the end. Rounds out. Long flight time, and he gets a direct hit at the other end. And somebody else just fired from that area. In fact, they only have 1 Arty left. So it appears that that guy, after getting hit, turned the vehicle around and then got ready to fire. So he's just the other side of that ridgeline, because there's 2 ridgelines there. One, which is actually pointed towards the cap area, and there's another one which is effectively going perpendicular to that, and that was the 261 firing around in. Now, okay, the K91's investigating this area down to the south. There's 4 enemies remaining. We know that there's a DBV 192 or 152 has been spotted. But yes, they're indicating that we should go to grid square D0 to try and get shots on the enemy up there. So somebody's gone right up to the top of the cliff and is shooting down. Now, the blast area to these shells is so large that even if we were just to lob the shell into that general area, 12.4 meters blast radius, that's a big footprint. 24 meters, or close to 25 meters overall diameter. Our guys are going up one by one, but they're cautious. The gorilla has actually gone to the top of the hill, but not willing to go much further. But we do have somebody going right up the other side. The leopard 1, I think he's making his way up to the lip as well. So it's the K91 that's right on the edge of the map there. I think he's about to spot one of the enemy. No, he hasn't. So they're not there. They're actually up at the northeast corner. So we're waiting for the tracer. Yep, they're saying all 4 are there. That would make sense. Well, of course, the ideal thing is that everybody goes and moves in at the same time. There's the 261. Rounds out. Completely nuked with that shot. 3 kills now for Oxagon. DBV suddenly spotted and receives 2 hits. There's the Gorilla 15. We're not loaded yet. Oh, we did lose our Gorilla 15. But this guy is well on the move. We've only got 1 shell left of the stun HE. We'll probably use that for the DBV. They just lost their gorilla. We're just about to shoot. Rounds out. This is for a bombardier. Oh, he got him! Oh, he got both of them! Fantastic shot to win the game! What an amazing last shot to that game. I could see what Oxagon was doing. He was lining them up as they pulled back together. They were actually getting closer and closer. He lined the shot up to land between the 2 of them and completely devastate them. And he did. He got an ace tanker out of that game, as well as a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in the end, 1 short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a counter battery fire medal because he took out both enemy SPGs, the T92 HMC in the cap, and then the the Object 261 later on. He got a line of cyanide there. He took out enemy tanks that were in the Soviet, not the Soviet, well, it was, yes, the Soviet class, the IS class of tanks and the objects. He also got the bombardier because, of course, he took out those last 2 enemies with the same shot. And it was the last stun shell he had, but it wasn't the last shell he had available. So unfortunately, he wasn't going to get the Faden's medal. And he also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 19 in that game. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle, and a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one, 5,634, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Okay, well, the highest damage in the game actually went to the DBV 152 on the enemy team. He got a tank sniper and 4,770 hit points of damage. Second highest goes to Oxagon with 4,286, the highest damage on his team. And the third highest damage, well, that goes to the K91, who managed 3,499 hit points and was still around at the end of the game. When it came to kills, we've got Oxagon with 5 kills. 3 kills went to the DBV 152 on the enemy team, and 2 kills went to the K91 on his own team, the DBV 152, the Gorilla 15, the Panzerwagen, and on the enemy team, their DBV 152 also managed 2 kills. When it came to base XP, it's Oxagon. Yeah, it's the only one to get over 1,000 base. He got 1,049. 947 went to the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. 869 went to the E100. He fired only 12 rounds, so he still had 4 rounds left at the end of the game. 5 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots. I suspect both of those were the Arty, and I think we could just do a quick check to see that. Actually, no, the T92 wasn't a penetrating shot. The 261 was definitely a penetrator. And I think one of the other tanks that he wiped out, well, just having a look here. No, it's none of these. So just looking around, E100. It's the Gorilla 15. He took out the Gorilla 15 for 1,160, and it was a penetrating round. Going back to the details again, 12 splash, 4,286 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 2,125 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 2,105 credits, but that's not a huge amount. But I think he's just happy that he managed to get that last bombardier, because they are getting rarer nowadays. He got 7 bonds because it was tier 10, and 1,573 experience points are altogether. The battle lasted 11 minutes 32 seconds, and yes, look at this, 26th of February. That's today. In fact, that was recorded this morning, just before 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's put it up on the Facebook page, and I couldn't resist putting this one up right away, because when you see a big game like this, you want to pass it on to other people. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.